So layoffs are now spreading like never before. We are seeing government officials laid off, simply let go. Federal workers are being laid off left and right. We're seeing hundreds and thousands of people let go every single day. But these are now starting to spread not just to the government agencies, but to private companies. I want to show you what is happening. People are actually filming their layoffs and posting these videos on TikTok. And I'm going to share a few of these with you. But the reactions, the emotions, and what people are going to do next, well, that's shocking. I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, explain what is going on and how you can be prepared for a potential layoff, but what you can do to be prepared for life after. So I'll break all this down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So I want to play you some videos. These are a few videos that I found on TikTok, but just listen to what these people are saying. Look at their faces, the emotions that they are going through. Because these layoffs, again, I've been saying this for the past year. We're starting to see the layoffs, but they will accelerate in 2025. And I said this because under the previous administration, under President Joe Biden and his administration, they were hiding a lot of numbers. They were trying to push money out to different government agencies, different programs, and many people, even businesses. But we can't continue that kind of spending. And the Trump administration knows that, which is why they're slashing spending as we speak. But just listen to this because, again, all these people are impacted.
So I have news that I don't want to share with you, but I have to.
Okay, I'm prepared.
And this is why I was telling you yesterday all the things that I said, which 100% are true. I am so proud of you and the work that you've done. As part of a company-wide restructure, we have to eliminate certain roles, and unfortunately, your role has been affected. I really enjoyed working with you. And like I've said 100 million times, I feel like a proud mom, like seeing you blossom and turn into this wonderful teammate.
So right there, you can not only see the person that is being laid off, but you hear the voice of the person that is firing this other one. You hear their voice crack, right? They don't want to let this person go. And the reason why I'm bringing this to your attention is because we are not just seeing the people on the bottom of the totem pole, okay? At the very bottom. Those aren't the ones that are also getting cut. Yes, they are getting cut and we're seeing them laid off, but it's also management, upper management, executives. Everybody's being let go because guess what? These businesses have to remain profitable. Look at this though. I want to play this one for you as well.
So I just lost my job today, and it feels weird to even say that. It has not set in, but yeah, I am unemployed. To say that I'm stressed out is an understatement. The timing actually is really not great because I am planning a wedding, and I'm also announcing something really big later this week. I know I'm saying this with a smile on my face because I smile and laugh when I'm stressed out, but I can promise you I'm freaking out on the inside. You best believe I'm about to be...
So there you go. The timing couldn't be great, right? It couldn't be worse. Somebody who's planning a wedding, which a wedding is a very expensive event, they now have to do that without an income. This is what we're going to face. People that are planning a wedding. She says she has a big announcement. I don't know who she is, but maybe she's going to have a child. That's another extremely expensive event. Or you're going to buy a car, you're going to buy a house, right? You now have to cancel a vacation, your dream vacation that you've been planning for several years, right? Cancel it. Maybe you have to liquidate your portfolio because you just lost your job and you have no emergency fund. This is what's happening. I want to play this next clip for you because a lot of people always ask, well, what happens when I get laid off? Well, what happens before that? Listen to this.
Can someone who was recently laid off or laid off in general, just tell me what the warning signs are, because today my boss was fired. They took away, it's like a fully remote job. They took away our access to social spaces. Okay, weird. And then fired people who were like misusing the social space policy by like commenting in social spaces, not during the half-hour lunch that we get.
So there you go. Now, she goes on to say more things than that, but the reason why I'm showing you this is because there are warning signs. And I've said this before. If you've been asked, hey, it's a little bit tough here at, X and X, corporation, would you mind taking a little bit of a pay cut? Right? Have you ever been asked that? If you've been asked that, that's a warning sign that layoffs could be coming. If you've ever been asked, hey, I understand you've been working hard. Why don't you take a little bit of your PTO, right? Don't come in for 10 hours, every single week. Only work 30 hours a week and then take your 10 hours of PTO. Because I know, it's tough. It's a tough time right now. Go just relax, have fun, take a vacation, sleep in, right? Do something like that. Have you ever been told that? That right there is a telltale sign that there are layoffs coming. Or the company's trying to get you to use your PTO to bring it down, so in the event that they fire you, which is likely happening, they don't have this big bill that they got to pay at the very end. Because now you're not using 40 hours and you still have PTO accruing. No. Now you're using 30 hours, you're taking 10 hours every single week, and so now they're trying to buy that down. Many companies do this and did this, especially during the financial crisis, especially during the pandemic. People were doing this. But here's some other warning signs. This is a major one, and this is actually coming right from this video that I just played you. A warning sign: if your boss asks you to make a list and detail exactly what you do, list your tasks in the order that you do them, in the event that, what if you get sick? We want to make sure that if we bring in a temp, that they could do your job without any problems. If somebody asked me that, I'd be like, am I being fired? Because that right there is a recipe for disaster. Because if now your boss knows exactly what you do, in the order that you do it, how you do it, all your passwords, everything, they simply take that note, give it to the next person and say, here, it's your job now. These are scary times. But look at this. It says how Trump's IRS layoffs could affect taxpayers and refunds this season. We are about to see 6,700 tax or IRS employees laid off. Some of which are already happening. Others, it's going to take a little bit of time. But here's the reason why this is a big deal. When we see all these different people get laid off, especially from the IRS, if this delays tax returns, this means it could delay spending at stores, at grocery stores, retail stores. Maybe you can't buy a house. Maybe you can't pay your utility bills, whatever it may be. Okay, you can't pay for the cleaning lady to come in, can't pay for a landscape or a pool person, right? All these different things. Which means now the economy is starting to take the hit. Okay? But this is just the beginning. Look at this one. It says impacts of federal layoffs will be felt for years to come. One of the things that we've already heard from multiple national parks, even Yellowstone, for example, people are not even paying at the gate. They're driving straight in because there's nobody there. Layoffs have already hit. I was talking to a friend of mine. He used to work for the Forest Service and parks and stuff, and he'd go around and one of his jobs was to ensure that every single person at the park had a little ticket that was good for all Washington state parks. And if they didn't have this little hanger tag on their rear view mirror, then they would get a ticket, and it's like a $110 ticket versus like a $40 for the year to go to all these parks and have access to them. And so that was his job. Well, his job went away. And what he said was very interesting. He said, just go have at it. Go to all these parks because there's nobody there that is going to give you a ticket. They don't have anybody. So essentially they let go of somebody that his job was to go make sure that every single person was following the rules and paying to go to the park, which again funds it. Funds the crews and the cleaning and the garbage and the electricity and all that. And so that job got eliminated, and now there's nobody there to collect that money. Now, I've said this before, and I think what President Trump is doing is headed towards the right track. Now, do I think we have to cut government spending? We have to. Unfortunately, we have to. It's going to be painful. I'm already feeling it, okay? I do not work for the federal government. I know a lot of people that do, but I'm already feeling the effects of it. And millions of people are going to feel this. It will be painful, probably for the next 6 to 12 months, if not longer. And if you saw the stock market just this past week, especially yesterday, if you were watching the stock market, you realize people are starting to be scared of the tariffs, of the government spending cuts, of potential inflation running rampant again. This is a scary time. And again, I bring it up because layoffs are spreading like we've never seen before. And if we see the government is cutting jobs, if we see big companies like Microsoft and Walmart and Costco and Target and Amazon are all eliminating positions, it's just a matter of time before the little guys and the small businesses do the exact same thing. So again, just be prepared. Now, how do you prepare? Unfortunately, if you've already been let go, the only thing I can tell you is do whatever you can to figure out how you're going to make a living. Bring in the first $100, first $1,000, first $10,000. How are you going to do it? You're going to start a business? There's so many different businesses you can start. You can start selling stuff on Facebook and eBay and Amazon, right? You can sell it on Craigslist. You can sell it on TikTok, okay, Etsy. There's so many things you can do. You can start a service business, clean houses, right? Mow lawns, clean pools. One of the things that a lot of people do here in the Washington, Seattle area is they clean people's roofs. Because one of the things that we get here is we get this kind of like mossy stuff up on the roof, and so people go up there and they just sweep it off. They charge hundreds of dollars for something that takes them less than an hour. Maybe you can do that. So figure out a way to make some income. Second thing you need to do is to create an emergency fund. If you have already been laid off, then you're a little bit late here, but you can still do it in the future. If you haven't been laid off, you don't have an emergency fund. That means you have 3 to 6 months of expenses. If your expenses, you total up your mortgage, your car payment, your insurance, utilities, your food, your health insurance, all this other stuff, it comes out to, let's say, $5,000. You need at least 3 months of that. That means $15,000 saved up, preferably 6 months, meaning $30,000 saved up in what you call your emergency fund. Because keep in mind, normally it takes 2 to 3 months to get a job once you've been laid off. Unfortunately, here in this economy, it's closer to 4 to 6 months to get a new job. So, I will leave you with that. If you have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. But if you too have a story about how you were just recently laid off, let me know down in the comments. Let me know exactly what happened and how you felt. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.